and I'm gonna start my Facebook soon. Yeah, hello everyone. Oh, I'm so sleepy today. I'm like tired. But I called this Sammy and Raven, but I don't know where Sammy is, so we'll see. Hello, everything's paused out. This is weird. What's happening? What's happening, Facebook? Reload. Waiting for camera. Oh, so weird. What is going on? I don't know. Can anybody see me? Something's happening. Something's happening. I don't know what just happened on my Facebook. Oh, maybe Facebook's gonna crash. Who knows? It says it's recording, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna Facebook, go to YouTube. Bye. I'm gonna close this because I don't, it's just totally blank. I don't doubt that they're shadow banning me super hard on Facebook. So, hello everybody on YouTube. Sorry about that, Facebook. All right, hello. Yes, we are exhausted from the heat outside. Oh, Heather. I'm, yeah, okay. Anyways, um, so I'm super tired from the heat outside for one. Aslan, Heather, text me yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I've been barely on Telegram. So asking me about paddleboard information. You know, like what do I think is better between an inflatable and a hard version paddleboard. And then I think it was Saturday. I was out on the river on Saturday as well, and then I posted a little video. And if you guys haven't watched it, just so you know, that's sped up a little bit. It's not like the real speed. I'm not going, whoo! I think it's 1.5 I put it at. I thought like 2 was a little too fast. It made me feel a little bit sick. But anyways, it does look a little bit scary. So let me explain the paddleboarding video first, and then I'll get to why I think this is all super freaking funny. I'm sure the words paddleboarding are just like, clue enough. Anyways, so on the Bow River, it's normally like here in Calgary, it's a beautiful ride from Bowness to City Center is usually where I go, 10th Street Bridge, somewhere around there, just past that, or the boat launch or whatever, just before the Peace Bridge. And I was coming like right after the 10th Street Bridge. People go and watch. There's I think they're called an eddy, like it's a swirling like surf, and people used to go surf in that, but it's a weird, you can't surf in it anymore. I don't know, because it's not the right level. But people come through there on their paddle boards, okay? And everyone who's been through that little eddy on their paddle board, 99% of them, if they're standing up, they wipe out because it's like, it's tall. It's, I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 foot wave that you have to come through, right? And that's the only place that anybody ever falls. So if they're standing up, they fall down. But I'd say 80% of the paddleboarders, maybe even 90%, that are on the Bow River, they know where all these weird little currents are that'll almost knock you off your paddleboard if you're not careful. But it's not treacherous. I'm talking like it's this much that's like you might get water coming over your paddleboard once or twice. But these are little rips, like, you know, whatever. So where does Obama's chef? Let's think about what this guy was cooking, number one. Let's think about what this guy knew, number two. Close personal family member. Come on. Obama's chef paddleboarding on Martha's Vineyard pond. And he's a good swimmer. Like, come on. I've only been on my paddleboard less than 30 times. Okay, I am no expert paddleboarder. Just FYI, when I'm on the Bow River, I tend to sit down because I just want to enjoy myself. I don't want to feel like I'm gonna dip out anytime. So I actually use, because I broke my toe, it's hard to stand up to and maneuver my paddleboard. I broke it at the beginning of July, and it's my second toe in. It's like my pointer toe. It's not big and clawy or anything talony, but it helps balance and it hurts when I'm trying to paddleboard. So since I broke my toe, I've been sitting down on the bow and I use a kayak oar like to paddle. And it's better because it's getting rid of my bingo wings under here. Under here. So, yeah. I think all that's hilarious. And if you haven't figured out, this movie is just getting even more funny. Even more funny. So there's some woman on, I guess, that called Amber Alert, I don't know, a few weeks ago, a month ago or whatever in the States, and there's no missing children. Now she might be charged. You're thinking, why? Why would they tell us this story about this fake woman with a fake Amber Alert? Well, what does the lady follow up with? Well, how about you talk about the 270,000 missing other children a year here in the United States? 260 or 70,000, I think she said. I think it was 60 maybe. And I was like, yep, that's why you're talking about this woman who falsely made an Amber Alert. See? Sammy agrees. Just saying. So these are all pieces of the puzzle that have to be opened for people to be like, what do you mean there's 260,000? So yesterday when I was pulling in for my paddleboard, it was so hot out yesterday. It was 34 here with wind, and the wind was probably about 34 kilometers in the opposite direction of where I was going. So I felt like a sailboat just sitting there idly. Like literally there was one part where when I wasn't paddling, I think I was going upstream. I was like, no. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I didn't pack a lunch. I only thought this was going to be a 2-hour ride. It turned into a 4-hour ride. Literally double the time. My arms are like spaghetti today. Like spaghetti. So, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So I paddled in, and there's a fellow from Turkey on the beach, like sitting there. He's like there, like, and he works in Canada. He's worked in Canada for a long time. He's a resident, whatever. And he's like, they should put some sand on this beach because it's all rocks. It's all rocks and pebbles. There's no sand anywhere. I don't know of a sandy beach in other than the one way down south. Anyways, so I said, sand, of course, me being my regular self, sand, they don't got time for sand. I'm like, they can't even pay city transit their increase from the last 3 years. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. So we get talking about stuff, and I'm like, this city is corrupt, man. That's why they can't do anything. I said they're so busy getting paid by the Rockefellers to go to the Bilderberg meetings and conspire against how they're gonna increase all of our rents and insurance and make us work harder and be bigger slaves. And he's like, you're right, they lie to us. There's so many lies going on. And I'm like, you want to know a big lie? I said, Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son. And he was like, what? What are you telling me? This guy was my age. I'm like, yeah. 3 years, all I've been researching, bloodlines, and that's it. And that's what that's a fact. I can guarantee you that. And he's like, wow. I go, I'm not the only one who knows it. Like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Canadians know that now. Anyways, he's like, I can't believe that. And I said, yeah, you want to know what else? I said, Bill Clinton? He's like, yeah. And Hillary Clinton? Yeah. I go, they're first cousins. He was like, his face. And I go, furthermore, Bill Clinton is related to Queen Elizabeth. He's like, how? And I said, they're half brother and sister. They were artificially inseminated by Winston Churchill, is the father of both of those people. And he was like, I think I'm gonna go have to have some drinks when I get home. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm scaring you with some information, but I think it's better that you know truth, so then when you're prepared, when all these lies are uncovered for you, you're at least like, okay, well, I kind of already knew some of this stuff. And I said, but don't worry, don't panic. Everything's gonna be okay. There's a huge military operation that they're taking out bad guys, and I really think one day we're just gonna wake up and boop, it'll be done. So we had a long talk, and then right before I left, he was like, well, I really appreciate, he goes, like, talking, and he was just kind of shell-shocked, and I said, oh, I'll just leave you with one other thing. He was funny, because they said, whatever curls your hair, and he lifted up his hat, and he was bald, so I'm like, whatever blows your hair off. That's what I kept saying afterwards. But I said, one other thing, Obama, Hitler's grandson. And he was like, that was the biggest. He was like, what are you telling me? He goes, no. I go, yes, absolutely. He goes, well, now some of this makes sense. That's all he said. He's like, I'm going to go have to have some drinks at home. So that was pretty amusing. Pretty amusing. So I'll go back to talking about the Sound of Freedom, because I still get people sending me information about these people being bad people and he's still human trafficking and yada, yada, yada. So let me put this into a bigger picture for you. All right? So if the executive orders have been acted upon, is anybody really using the money for bad purposes? Number one, that's my question. Are you really seeing that happen right now? Or are you hearing about things that happened in the past and have to be told to us, much like everything we are being shown right in front of our faces? The deception is everywhere, right in front of our faces. So it's hidden in plain sight. So that's my first question. My second point is I made a chart video yesterday talking about Die Hard 4 and where the information was kept and how we're all human slaves and all of the money is attached in the fiat currency through the USD dollar and Canadian dollar. All of that has touched human trafficking worldwide. Okay? People are freaking out about how crypto is a bad thing. I don't believe crypto is a bad thing. I think because you have to think about it a little bit deeper than something you plug into on your phone, like, and then somebody can steal it. So if you're worried about where money is being spent right now or what they're doing with the money, the reason why there is so much panic, let me repeat this part. There is so much panic right now because there is no more money. They have no more money. They don't even have enough money here in Canada to pay the military, some of the military people. What do you think is going to happen to the very people that are paid to protect us if they're not paid? Think about that, people. So you can chirp all you want about, oh, these people are still human traffickers and all their, where are they spending their money if it's all coming to a close? And it's like everyone popping up, like all these it's whack-a-mole right now. Oh, we're reading to kids in our underwear in front of children. Okay, we know you're a pervert pedo. Everyone who supported you financially and your computer and everything around it, it's like a spider event. So every person, it's all connected. It's all been recorded. And all of that money, I believe, from the Vatican, the Buckingham, all of those places where they have stolen gold around the world from everybody, has been re-sanctified, given a new DNA. It's all holied. It's in God's highway. So when they shut off the old system, all the human trafficking money is no longer able to be in circulation anymore. See my goosebumps? Sammy, where are you for this one? So there will be an overlap and a transition, and everything has to go into a digital crypto world because the frequency and resonance that is attached to the gold and silver currency is at a higher vibration than anything that dark evil forces can grab. So every time they go and steal something now, try and steal something from the new system, there's been like many videos made about this. It's shut down within seconds. These people are captured. So why, if we're going to heaven on earth, is anybody possibly believing that people are still going to chip their kids because they're all freaking out over the sound of freedom? Like, the people who are chipping their kids are the ones who have already given their kids medicine to convert them to another sex, or they gave them the fake medicine because they believed it was helping them. These are people who live in fear. Okay? Maybe those people aren't making it to the next level. Maybe they're not leveling up. Not my problem. Sorry, I said it that way. I'm trying to get everyone together to come together in truth and in freedom of information, sharing it so everybody knows all the stuff that we know. And we don't even know all of it. But so everybody can stop this on a conscious level of changing behaviors. So, and this all has to take place, I do really think, at the same time, because cyber attacks and the banking are tied together. Like, again, go watch that video. And why do they have to do that? Because every single little mouse hole within the financial industry has to be exposed. And has to be exposed for what IMF has done, the central banks have done, like the OPEC, all of these people that controlled the corporations of oil money, the insurance, the big pharma, all of them have to be exposed. People need to say, oh my God, they were really doing that. Oh my God, yeah, I hear Bill Gates saying that. Oh my God, I can't believe that's actually true. So there is a lot of stuff that now is going to be, so everything, if good guys were bad guys and bad guys are good guys, that's pretty much how you have to think of things. So that's why I say, think of the guy Gabriel in Die Hard as a good guy. He's like trying to stop that system, like shut it down, because it's all human slavery. It was all in that Woodlawn building. So to me, all of this, the steps that they're taking to expose all of these people for their actions, right from the chef, the paddleboarding chef, like, that's just hysterical to me. Like, Jesus, like, I think it's all funny. I think it's awesome. Okay, so, and some food for thought, because I've been talking a lot about this. So, I'm just going to share some interesting information that I've come across and I've learned about myself. Okay? And you can take with it how you would like to take with it. So, as you know, I've been asking some questions about diet and parasites and blah, blah, blah. Because I'm interested to know if some diets created more parasites or other diets don't. What I learned is parasites are parasites and we have to get rid of them no matter what. Number one. Okay? My friend's a nurse. Okay? So this isn't, I'm just not talking out of my ass. I asked her how food was processed in our body. I asked her about blood types. I asked her about parasites. I asked her about a whole bunch of things. She's a pretty healthy person. So, that being said, every full moon, parasite cleanse. Now, going to, I looked based on, her advice. She's like, look up some of the things that don't agree with you, kind of thing, see if your blood type, So I did. And it's interesting. This is really interesting. So most of my life, I have liked a certain amount of foods. And other foods, I'm like, I don't really like those. Those don't make me feel very good if I eat them, or this doesn't do that. What I realized is my blood type, I'll just tell you, is a type A, which is a lot of people, by the way. A lot of people have type A. I don't know if it's positive or negative. I don't know. I can't remember. And the blood type that the foods that are listed in type A are for someone who is a vegetarian primarily. And I'm like, shocking. Like, shocking. I'm not telling the meat eaters of blood type A to go eat, but the meats that you should be eating if you are type blood A type, are chicken, turkey, salmon, cold water fish. I think that's how they labeled it. And the things that you shouldn't be eating, and anybody who's watched me for 3 years is going to know this. No dairy. I shouldn't be eating dairy. Well, dairy causes phlegm for me. Some other people can digest it. I cannot. I should be eating oat milk. Well, I do eat my oat milk over any other milk. That's normally what I buy to put in my coffee, is oat milk. So, I can't have coffee. I don't like more than one coffee a day. So I was like, this is super interesting, because when I did eat meat, what did I eat? Chicken, turkey, salmon, I don't like fishy fish. Beef would never really agree with me. I've never really eaten pork. My pet pig got butchered in my yard when I was in grade 5. So, yeah, you can see how some of this is fairly interesting. So I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm just saying that when yesterday I stopped in to my favorite vegetarian, they serve meat there, but they get it from a really good place. Talked to her, the lady that runs the store, and she's like, I go, how many people, do you know that were vegetarians now are eating meat? And she goes, actually, it's more common than you think. She's like, a lot of people that were straight vegans here in our restaurant are now eating chicken and salmon. And I was like, I bet you they're all type A. Type A blood. And so we had a chat about that. She goes, that's super interesting. I'm gonna go home and read up about it. And it is what it is. I'm not saying you should do whatever or whatever. Don't do anything drastic. But listen to your body. I have intuitively been eating to my blood type my whole entire life. So I prefer pineapple juice over orange juice. I don't like orange juice. Pineapple juice is what I should be drinking, not orange juice. Interesting. So yeah, I just thought that was really cool. I thought I'd share that with you. So lots of vegans have now started eating meat, regardless of what people think is going on out there. Lionsgate. If they don't know that by now, right? 88.8 flower seed vibration, sacred geometry. Yes. Fiat currency will pay fiat debt. We're in a more secure system. That is correct. Lionsgate porthole. I agree. Full moon phases for sure. And 30 years ago, yeah, for sure. I'm just, yeah. Oh my God. Hobo on Wheels says fingerprinting kids was a thing 30 years ago. I did it. I was one of those. I was a single parent, man. Like, I didn't want anybody. My oldest son's name is Adam. I think I've told you guys this story. Do you know why I named my oldest son Adam? Not because it was the first man in the Bible, although true. My oldest son's name, Adam, is because I watched the Adam Walsh story when I was 8.5 months pregnant. And I was so devastated that the family name, his two other middle names, was given to the firstborn son of every child for a millennial. And I refused. His name is Adam. It's a good name for him. He's a good big brother. He's a good man. So anyways, that's my story. Sammy wasn't here much because I started the video late. It's getting a little bit warm for him, so he dipped in. But I wanted to share you this little story of Sammy yesterday. So I think I can point out right on, let me look. Nope, not that one. Okay, right behind the pink one, right here. Right down here behind the light that I'm pointing at, there's another light that's sitting on that. And you see how close the fence is to that light? Right there. So the geranium is right there. Sammy was sitting right where that, on top of the light post where that geranium is yesterday. And he was sitting there like meditating. And I'm sitting right where I am and I was watching him like, that is so cool. Should I videotape him? I'm like, no, I'm going to be one of those animal woke people videotaping the squirrel meditating. Literally, just as that happened, a fucking hawk missed him by about this much and then had to miss the fence. So swooped up and I'm like, and then he took off. I was like, holy shit, dude, I just about saw you die. And I'm like, if I would have been videotaping you, I bet you would have gotten picked up and it would have been the most horrific video ever. I would have been traumatized. I'm so glad I didn't videotape. So, a lesson to all of you right there. When the squirrel is meditating, he ain't. He's being still because the hawk is ready to swoop down and eat him. Oh my gosh, that was so scary. But he's alive and he's happy and he's fighting all of the other squirrels in the yard for his territory on a daily basis and making me happy. And his sunflower, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can see the sunflower right there growing up through the stairs. I think that's so cute. That's Sammy's sunflower garden. So he has like 5 or 6 sunflowers in there that are growing like multiple heads on them. I love it. So whimsical. I love Sammy. So I'm going to go enjoy my day. I've got some errands to run with my spaghetti-o arms. I'm not doing too much, trust me. And I've got like, I don't know if you can see my tan. I've got like white here and white here from the life jacket. You have to wear a life jacket in the boat river. And speaking of life jackets, this is really survival of the fittest, I swear, some days. So I think I mentioned that on the Bow River, they give you tickets, $500. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. $500 ticket for not wearing a life jacket because there are some of these eddies that, you know, whatever. And people, when it's higher, have to be rescued. But for the most part, the fin on your paddleboard or kayak is doink, doink, hitting some rocks in some spots if you're not paying attention. Notice how I said if you're not paying attention. Where was I going with this? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the life jackets. So, this couple, I'm pretty sure they were Russian, Ukrainian. There's a lot of Russian speaking people in our city right now. A lot. Like, it's the number one language I hear on the C train besides Arabic. No joke. So I want to learn Russian. It sounds cool, actually. But these people had a kid, and he was like 8 or 9 years old. And they're going rafting for the first time, raft out of the box, life jackets, brand new, look like, whatever. And they put the life jacket on the kid, and it's way too big for him. And he's looking over at me, and his dad's like, and I wave, and I'm like, I go, can I see? Like, and he goes, yes. I go to the kid like this, put up your hands, and I whip the life jacket right off his arms. I was like, not good. What do? They put on a bigger one. I'm like, whatever. Just he tied it in knots at least, and it looked more like a kid's life jacket than the big blue adult one they had on him. But I'm just like, I don't, why even bother? Like, it's not treacherous. Like, there's no point really for the life jacket unless you're gonna get out and swim along with the boat, which the kid looked of age. That's when my kids were jumping off the boat to go swimming. And there's eddies that have pulled and then pop you back up. But I wouldn't want my kid doing that. I've seen also dogs drown in that river. I've seen a drowned dog that looked like my old dog I was mortified 2 years ago. So it happens, you guys. So, I don't know. Will these people necessarily make it? I don't know. I can't comment on that. So some people are commenting. Speaking of comments. What is oat milk? Oat milk is basically, you can make it yourself. It's oatmeal, like oats, rolled oats, and you can distilled water it and use the oats and then squeeze the water out, oat milk. But I buy it already made because I don't do all of that nonsense. And I just pray for the best that I'm cleaning out all my heavy metals. Like, that's the one thing I eat that's processed food, is besides coffee. I don't know, is coffee processed? So anyways, yeah. Hello everyone. Kitty life jackets have a strap. Yes, exactly. Hope on wheels. That's exactly it. I'm like, I was looking around too for the strap that went under their crotch. Like, if I could even bungee something so the life jacket would stay on if you wanted to go swimming. But I'm like, I don't care. I just don't care. I just don't care. That was the same moment that I saw, like, within an hour of being on the C train and seeing another European couple with 2 little children, and the girl couldn't have been more than 4 years old. Like, maybe tops 4 years old. She was just a wee little thing. And she was sitting beside me on the C train. And when she got on the train, there was this man. I'm not saying if you were the one on them, but I found your behavior a little suspicious. There was 2 men on the C train that as soon as the family got on, and they both stopped what they were doing and started staring at this family. It was just creepy to me. But anyways, so what does the mother do? She doesn't notice any of that going on. And she puts bright, dark, pink lipstick on her 4-year-old child. That's what's wrong with the world. I'm sorry right now. Right there is, why does your 4-year-old need... It's not innocent. I'm sorry. It's not. You need to go watch The Sound of Freedom. That was seriously, it just made me feel so sad. I was just like, and I know it's, some people do that, and no, I don't care. It's bad. I don't care. I'm just going to say it. It's bad. It's bad. Maybe you should put makeup on your brother when you're 6 years old, your mom's makeup, and put bright blue eyeshadow on and lipstick and everything. And then when your mom comes in and beats your ass and you give her the finger and she sees you in the mirror and smacks you upside the head, you'll never touch her makeup again. That's maybe what happened to somebody. True story. It's the only time I ever gave my mom the finger. I was mad. I thought my brother looked awesome. He was 5. He looked like a fucking clown. Anyways, funny story. But yeah, I don't think it's such a fun thing. And plus there's so many chemicals in that shit. Why would you want your kid that on your kid's face? No. So I saw a lot of creepy behavior on Saturday. It was not good. Not good. Old man that looked like a priest or a preacher or something, minister of some description with an 80s suit on, grabbing a girl by the arm and almost taking her into the back alley. I didn't know what to do, you guys. I literally didn't know what to do. So here, let me tell you. I asked my friend, I go, what would you have done? And she said, I would have asked that person if she needed help. And I'm like, that's a good idea. I'm going to ask that next time. Like, it was just, the girl wasn't in her right mind either. She looked like she was an adult, but it was just fucked up. Anyways, there's a lot of sketchy things. I'm just going to hide at home from now on. Put my headphones on. Just mind my own business. Oh, where are all the chats? They just disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. Anyways. But that's all I have to say for today. I just haven't had a chat for a while, and I thought I'd let you in on that interesting little tidbits of information. And yeah, I think shit's about to blow. They're talking about impeaching Biden now, finally, in the Congress. So maybe there's going to be some arrests, and maybe we're going to see some fun action, and maybe by the Lionsgate portal things will change, and everybody will be manifesting freedom and unification and of all families and all of that stuff, all the goodness. So take care, everybody. Lots of light. Oh, I was going to do a quick card reading before I leave because they've been so bang on lately. So, look what popped up at the bottom. Lady of the Lake. It's the absolute truth. It's what's on the front of the cards. So, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Lady of the Lake came out again. And the Owl, which is about wisdom and deception. Usually when those two come together, the Lady of the Lake is about courage, self-respect, and responsibility too. So it's like learning as much as you can learn about everything that's going to be exposed, like all the darkness. This seems like a really good card reading. Let me just get one more card. This one popped out the bottom. Oh, the Grail Knight, which is about seeking the sacred, romance, illusion. I'm going to read these cards today because I normally don't. But Lady of the Lake came up twice, so I'm gonna. The Lady of the Lake represents the highest order of respect for yourself and the manner in which you operate within the world around you. She is the harsher element of truth where denial is swept away by tidal wave of events. Oh, can you see those goosebumps? Oh. In the ancient legend of Avalon, the Lady of the Lake represented Merlin with the Sword of Truth, which had been claimed by Arthur, who became High King of Britain. The magic welded this metal was fired by the will of the goddess. Consequently, when the Lady of the Lake appears, she demands nothing short of total truth and integrity. She asks you to be mindful of all the signs, signals, and omens that present themselves to you. This is not a time to second guess. If the signal appears, be assured that a challenge has been presented. Moving forward without acknowledgement of the challenge will result in unnecessary difficulties. If the signal is to move, she pushes you to act. Do so, for a victory is imminent. Regardless of your question, the message is to take care when the Lady of the Lake appears, as serious business is at stake. The Lady reminds you of your personal responsibility in shaping your reality and its consequences. Seek the sword of truth within yourself, and great success will be yours. Have courage, for when the Lady appears, the strength of Avalon is behind you in support of your quest for wholeness and abundance. Booyah! I love it. And the Owl. The Owl lends you eyes that you need in order to see the dark around you. The owl can cut through the shadows to illuminate the real truth. Someone may be trying to camouflage his or her real intentions. Deceit, lies, unclear intentions are what expose the owl energy. Oh, you guys got goosebumps too. The owl reminds you to be honest with yourself. Again, truth. This is all about being honest with yourself, people. Snap out of any lies or denial inside of you. Lying to yourself is the only way that you'll remain lost in a prison of your own making. The owl asks you to seek truth in the darkest places within yourself. This will set you free and restore to wholeness. All is well with the owl to guide you. Deep wisdom into human nature is gained through the ability to recognize untruth. Owl is important and an important and powerful ally. Oh my goodness, I can't read today. And the Grail Knight. Romance. There you go. Illusion, seeking the sacred. Romance and the seeking of that which is sacred are the missions of the Grail Knight. He represents the coming together of all elements to perform perfect life through a union of heaven and earth. Or he signifies a romantic union of lover with lover. Interesting. Brings up some interesting dreams again. In the beginning of all relationships, there's a time when everything is perfect. One seeks out the discovery of love in the treasures of the other, all the while holding up a mirror in which beauty and perfection are reflected. There is both truth and illusion. When the Grail Knight appears, he lets you know that your own beauty, perfection, and innermost desires may be reflected in the mirror that is held up by the love of another. Indeed, love is in the air. Love is in the air. Perhaps it's time for you to fall in love with yourself. If you don't, you risk the risk of attracting the same affirmation from the outside world. Love attracts love. Be love, and you shall find love. A gentle warning. Light cannot exist without shadow. So don't be fooled by the illusion of perfection. Be willing to see the shadow and ask for honesty. Then you can never be disappointed. This is a fortunate omen. Doop-a-doop. Love it. Love it. So, Owlie. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Rebecca. Washington, D.C. airport is laid out like an owl. Oh, cool. I don't know if I knew that. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe it's just one of those things that's stored in my subconscious and just came out now. Denver airport, creepy. So, Calgary airport, also creepy. But, yeah, I think that's all I got to say for now. So just go find your absolute truth, cut through the deception and wisdom that lies within yourself, and start falling in love. Like, protect all the parts of yourself that you respect and you want to set your boundaries up for, and keep those close to you, and then go modify the other behaviors that still need a little bit of work. I know I got work to do every day. I think about it all the time in a good way. I got to do more manifesting of a higher timeline where everybody is free of the slavery and we are all in abundance and in health. So we cannot have people keep bitching about the med beds. We cannot be free and have the med beds at the same, like, we can't have the med beds in this timeline if someone's still trying to make money off of them. So you see, fiat currency cannot be attached to the med beds because they're in a higher vibration. They're in the higher vibration universe. They're not in this universe. So when this universe is collapsed, this 3D system of slavery, and then it can be gifted to humanity. And until those gifts can be revealed, then and helped along by the military in that smooth transition that we've been hearing about, I think it's all coming soon. So, and big shout out to, I think it was Freedom Force Battalion. I think she put this out. I'm not sure 100%, or maybe Esther speaks, but September 24th is a full moon. And it's also September 11th in the Julian calendar. And it's also, I think, in Omar, the whatever of Omar, or whatever it's called. I have to go read upon that. So to me, the next couple of months are like 3.5 years of COVID poop, and then, yeah, so done in 30, all of this stuff. I don't know. I hope it's all coming to a close soon. But be prepared. Be prepared. So cash in your gold for silver. People ask me about crypto. I'm not a financial planner, but if I was going to invest in cryptocurrency or change my money from anything in the stock market, I'd be going on Phil G's page, the gold quiz, because you can switch your IRAs. I don't know how it works in the States, but he's helped a lot of people save some tax money and stuff. I don't know anything about that, but I know people are happy with it. That's all I know. So, or buy physical silver. If you're gonna buy crypto, personally, I've always heard good things about XLM and XRP. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. So, I have crypto and it's neither one of those. It was more of my experiment. And yes, it's backed by gold. So, that's all I gotta say. I hope everybody has a good day. It's about 24 degrees out here. Roscoe's hanging in he's the black squirrel from a couple of doors down. He's hanging in the sunflower seed nut suet right now, just dangling. So it's gonna be a good day for me. Got lots of stuff to do here. Got lots of raspberries to pick. Should pick them this morning. It's better to pick them when they're cold. So, anyways, you guys do your best for you, do what's right for you, and stay in your house.